in partnership with a company called Seven Energy, and they have a subsidiary called Akwa that is a gas distribution company. So they actually build pipelines to take gas from the producer to the consumer. So in Uquo, we have an alliance with Seven Energy. They have been a funding and technical partner. We developed the project together. Then they have another company called Akwa that builds the transmission pipeline. So you can see it's a marriage made in heaven, right? We like to produce gas, they like to distribute gas. So in the southeastern Niger Delta, together, Frontier, Seven Energy, and Akwa, we've created a brand new gas development, distribution, supply value chain, totally from scratch. So in essence, we've been ahead of the government's gas master plan, which is a plan to develop a gas distribution grid throughout Nigeria. We have achieved that as private sector people in the southeast of Niger Delta using private sector funds.
Okay, one issue that always come up with oil companies is the issue with the community. Yes. What is the relationship between Frontier Oil and the community you operate? You know,
I wish I had a community representative to answer you, because then you will get an independent perspective. But let me answer that as a person who has a vested interest. I think that we, Frontier, have been able to win the freedom to operate within our community. And the best test of that was on the 14th of August when the president came to commission that plant. I had a number of major prominent stakeholders in the community come and shake my hand, and they said, Dada, you kept your promise. And what do I mean by that? When I first stepped into the Esiteket Uquo field in 2003, I was surrounded by people. We had a town hall meeting, and I said to them, we will never make a false promise, but any promise we make, we will keep. Okay? So over the years, from 2003 till date, we've won the trust of our community by keeping the promises that we make.
I'm quite keen on finding out what kind of promises did you make to them?
Well, you know, the first platform is a philosophy. Keep your promise. Okay? Don't make false promises. So what kind of promises did we make? We have, for instance, in the two local governments we are operating in.
Within Esiteket and...
There are two local governments. There's Esiteket and there's Eket.
Okay.
The plant is physically located in Esiteket, but the field spreads
the marginal
between,
field.
Yeah, over between Esiteket and Eket. We've set up two community development foundations. They have a board of trustees. They have a governing body elected by the communities, and they have a professional secretariat. We, with our joint venture partners, we fund those CDFs, so that the CDF, working with the people of the community, they distill bottoms up the projects and the activities which will impact their lives. We don't impose anything as the old brigade used to do, okay? They distill all the things they want to do. We agree which ones we believe we can do, and then we fund the CDFs, and then they take it from there and they run it. And by running it themselves, they take ownership of the project and the activities. So in the last couple of years, we've trained over 880 young men and women. 880 youths.
Wow.
Even before we started production.
In how many years is this?
Over the last 3-4 years.
What kind of training do you give them?
Okay. For instance, hotel and catering management courses. And then we help you to, if you want to start a little shop, we help you. Tailoring and sewing, welding, aluminium frame manufacturing, telephone repairs, and every year we process 240 young men and women in 2 computer centers in BDFs, which allows them to acquire ICT skills, which makes them employable in offices, etc. Okay? When we were constructing the plant, we employed over 900 people from the communities to work on the plant. Okay? Over the years, I think...
So the issue of local content is...
It's more than local content. We call it host community content.
Host community content, yeah.
So we've had a direct impact in creating employment, some of it long-term, some of it short-term, within the communities we're operating in.
That is fantastic, but we have very little time left, and I would make this the final question to you. In terms of issues and challenges surrounding the marginal fields, what are those for you, and what are solutions that you put on the table that even the government might be able to help you?
Okay, let's look at the global picture first. In 2003, 24 marginal fields were awarded to 30 companies. Today, I think 8 or 9 marginal fields are in production. That is 11 years after the program was awarded. That shows you that things are not quite right. Why are 9 in production and 15 are not in production? The biggest challenge from day one that all the marginal field companies faced was funding. In 2003, the Nigerian capital market could not support 24 marginal field E&P activities, and people had to go looking for money overseas. Okay, that always proved to be a challenge, and is still a challenge today. Not as much as in 2003, because if you know, Nigerian companies in partnership with foreign partners have been spending billions of dollars buying assets being divested by Shell, by Chevron, and so we've broken that jinx. The second problem that I think marginal field people face is collaboration. You cannot eat your cake and have it.
Yeah.
And I think Nigerians have to learn that. You can't eat your cake and have it. It is better to use your energy creatively to create value than to be fighting amongst each other when you have zero value. Okay? So funding, then the issue of collaboration within and without. So people got partners and they're fighting all the time instead of focusing the energies on creating value.
Yes.
Okay? Then you have, of course, the issue of community issues.
Well, you cracked.
We're hoping you're taking care of.
We cracked because we were wise enough to know what we didn't know. We were wise enough to know that we didn't have the skills to attack this problem. So let's find people who can work with us to attack the problem. So then there was, of course, always the perennial issue of security in the Niger Delta. Okay, and then fifthly, contracting to contract for services. Nobody wants to do business with a marginal field company because they don't think you can pay for it. Okay, so the terms and conditions of contracts are very onerous. They want you to pay, in many cases, 100% upfront. Very, very difficult.
Which at times they could run away with.
Of course.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Can I make one last point?
Okay, one last point.
And it's very important. It's to do with Nigerian content, what you call local content.
Local content, yes.
One of the biggest challenges facing marginal field operators is the quality of service provided by fellow Nigerian service providers. In our experience, more than 80% of the people, Nigerian contractors we believed would do well and should do business with, they harmed us. Okay?
That's sad.
Because the mentality of the promoters wasn't to develop a sustainable value-creating business. It was just to make quick money and run with it. The good thing is that 20% have stepped up to the game. And in our company, we've made up our mind that the 80%, we will never do business with them again. The 20%, we will try to foster a long-term relationship with them.
Which is excellent. Thank you very much. From all of what you've said, it seems like Frontier Oil is doing a fantastic job with the community, with the people, and delivering value to the economy. So thank you very much, Engineer Solomon Dada Thomas, the MDC of Frontier Oil. It's great to have you here.
Thank you for having me.
And we're hoping that you sustain that very excellent community relationship Because I worked in the oil industry many
Okay.
moons ago in the public affairs department, and I know community relations is one
very
of the
important.
pivotal
It's extremely
part,
important.
extremely important. So if you cracked it, you're doing a great job. Thank you very much
Thank
for
you
coming.
very much.
Thank you.
Sunrise is not going away. We take a short break. When we come back, another conversation will be coming your way. So do join us again.